Hey you guys, what's up? It is Blind Eye and I am here to give my thoughts on Twisted Metal Season 2, Episode 4. Let's get right into this. This is going to be so cool. So now, this episode is basically a heist episode. We follow John Doe, we follow Quiet. Oh yeah, by the way, this is going to be filled with spoilers. So if you haven't watched the episode, go watch it, come back, we'll talk. All right, so John Doe, Quiet, Mayhem, and Krista are all going to Diesel City, and they need to go there so they can get special weapons, literally S-tier special weapons. Classic callback to the games, you know how it goes. So they have to go there, and they have to blend in. Now, apparently there's a bunch of rich people that are allowed up in here, and there's no violence allowed at all, or else you're going to get sniped. So don't try it. They have a cool currency, like it looks like little nuts and bolts kind of thing. It's like that's what they use for currency. They trade gasoline for it, and then they give you a however much amount, and then you can go buy whatever you need to buy, which is pretty cool. So they're all getting changed. John and Quiet, they're getting changed so they can blend in. He's got a nice suit. She's got a nice outfit on, and they enter inside, and the camera kind of pans away from what they're doing, and we see Stu and Sweet Tooth, the S brothers. They are on a shopping spree as well, and it's so funny because Sweet Tooth is totally acting like a child, like, oh, can we get this? Can we get that? Oh, what about this? Can we get this? Oh, come on, we gotta get this. And Stu is like, he's like the parent. He's like, no, we only need certain things. We only came here to get what we came for. We can't be buying extra stuff. It's so good. I love their dynamic. It is so freaking hilarious. And Stu, he's like, all right, I'm gonna give you some money. You go buy what you need to buy that'll benefit us in the tournament. Weapons, because Stu, he's got armor piercing rounds, and that's what he wanted to get. And so they cut back to John and Quiet and everybody else, and they got badges. And they're like, how do we get these badges? They're noticing everybody's got badges. And Mayhem was supposed to be the getaway driver chilling outside. No. We all know Mayhem by now. She's a little trickster. She's slick. She got her way inside and got some badges for John and Quiet, which was awesome. Mayhem, she's a little trickster, but she knows what's up. She knows what she's doing. She's got their back, which is cool. So they basically have to go infiltrate a vault, and that's where all these weapons are at. But they gotta play it cool, do what they gotta do to get to the vault. So they go up to like this art gallery looking spot, and you have all the specials listed. Like they're auctioning off these special weapons, and it's literally the special weapons: ghost missiles, the boomerang missile, which is basically roadkill special, and the napalm cones for it's basically Sweet Tooth special. And they're basically like this art guy is like, he's like, yeah, all the cities use this, all the walled cities use it. They wipe anyone out that they want, pretty much. And John's like, no, we can't have this. No, we were just gonna get the walls down. No, we're taking everybody out. We're gonna save everybody. We're gonna rock this. How we get to the Emperor? Not do it. Not that Emperor. But this dude was funny. I liked this character was he was totally like a Greek, to me that's what it looked like. He had like a Greek mythology kind of feel to it, like a Greek feel to him. I guess that was the whole point. But anyway, so they're conversating with him, and he's trying to feel them out, and they trick him, they know they got through. And so that he's like, all right, it's time to play. It's like, oh, is this gonna go where I think it's gonna go? And yep, John and Quiet, they are given a new set of clothes, a Holy Men set of clothes, and a Vulture set of clothes. So it's like, okay, Holy Men are still kind of running around a little bit. They're still referenced, which is cool. And then they walk into this room, and it's just a lot of A lot of action, I will say that. Yeah, so John and Quiet make their way through the action. Yeah, and then Stu shows up. That's right, because I'm jumping all around. So, this is funny. So, we go back to Stu and Sweet Tooth, and Sweet Tooth's like, hey, Stu, check out what I got. I got this badass, like, Dracula velvet cape. It's amazing. Stu's like, did you just spend all our money on a damn cape? We needed that for weapons. And Sweet Tooth is just like, he don't care. Stu even says, like, you don't even care, do you? You just do whatever you want. And then Sweet Tooth's like, because he just wants to kill. And then he's like, man, I already killed 2 people up in here wearing this damn thing. And so another guy walks up. He takes the cape, shields him with the cape, and then you can hear his neck snap. And then he's like, see? No big deal. It's so ridiculous. I love it. And eventually, John and Quiet make their way to this laser hallway, right? It looked pretty cool. So they get past the laser. They get past the guard that's chilling there. She's like, you see it in the trailer, she stabs him and like slices their knife down his chest and his stomach. And she's like all like acting all sexy doing it, So that part's there. And then they make their way down the hallway. John like does some cool like moves to get through the lasers. And then she throws a hatchet, disables the lasers, and then they end up doing their thing. All the while, Stu, back in that action room, this was a cool little reference, I think. So he's brought out, he's only in his underwear, and all these women start surrounding him, and they're like, oh, Stu, and I'm like, yo, and he's like, did I just win a contest or something? And I was like, that was a cool callback. That was a cool callback right there as to the ending of Twisted Metal 1, where they wanted babes. Even though that was Dave and Mike, it wasn't Mike and Stu, but it's still a nice little callback there. And then, let's see where we at. Yeah. So, Sweet Tooth, he's doing his thing. He's running around. And Dollface shows up, and because they're on a time limit, they got like 30 minutes to do this. They're getting down to the wire. They got like 15 minutes left. So Dollface is like, I'm going up in here. So she's like fighting these other guards. And then Sweet Tooth is like, may I cape in? And, and then they're fighting together, which is pretty cool to see that. And then Sweet Tooth's all like, he has no idea how to talk to her. I mean, I don't know how to talk to women either. I don't know how to talk to really anybody. I don't know how to hold a damn conversation. That's a whole nother conversation. But he's totally like, to me, it's like he was totally like crushing on her, like, oh, like, well, like it's a woman. I don't know when the last time this dude talked to a woman, but you could tell he's like, I don't know, it's so good, it's so funny. And then he's like following her around. She's all like, oh, you're still here. And they make it up to the room where they need to go to open the door for John and Quiet. And she comes across an EMP that's sitting in there. And then Sweet Tooth is like, oh, that would be good for a tournament. And then that's where they start fighting each other. So it's like, oh, they teamed up and now they're fighting. Oh, this is cool. And so eventually Mayhem comes in and wraps the cape around Sweet Tooth's head so Dollface can grab the EMP, and they run off. They escape. And then while John and Quiet are in the vault room they wanted to get in, it was funny. While Dollface and Sweet Tooth are fighting, the door keeps opening and closing because they're fighting and hitting the button. So the door's like constantly swinging back and forth, which is pretty funny. And so John and Quiet, they make it in this room. They're like, okay, they're in the room with all the weapons. Okay, great. But given to the action room and all this stuff, they're ready to go. They're hot and heavy for like, it's time to get down and dirty. They got, they're hormones. They're ready to go. And they in this moment of theirs, they knock over, they're knocking weapons over. And then there was like this, I don't know what it was exactly, but it was like a grenade. And then it started to spark, and then this fire shoots out of it, right? It catches the whole room on fire. They're like oblivious to it. They're still going at it. They're still doing their thing, right? And then Stu comes in, like after he's done with all the ladies or whatever the hell happened with him. And he's like, jackpot. And he sees them two going at it. And he like doesn't, make his presence known. He just lets them do what they're doing. But he finds a bunch of weapons and he's like, jackpot. And he grabs them and goes away, goes back to Sweet Tooth. And so now they're all back downstairs or whatever. Sweet Tooth knocks these two dudes out in the head, like pushes their head together. It's like, then someone yells, someone just attacked somebody. And then it's just pandemonium. It's just full on chaos. John and Quiet are running around there almost naked, pretty much trying to cover themselves up with whatever they could find. And they get back in the car. And then before Krista leaves, she sees a vehicle there and it's like, oh, what do we got here? And it's the ATV. And here she comes with Mayhem. So everyone's all good. Everything's fine. Stu and Sweet Tooth are all good. And Stu is like, oh, almost left out a very important part. So on his way out, Stu gets confronted by the Emperor and all his freaking weirdo people, followers, whatever. And he's like, I gave you the gift of flesh. And now, like, and Stu's like, no, you may have effed me or whatever. Now I'm going to F you or whatever he says. And he just lights them up, shoots them all down. He comes back outside with Sweet Tooth. He's covered in blood. And Sweet Tooth's like, oh, I missed your first kill and all that. Dude, it's so good. It's so good. And then he's like, I got you a present. And he's like, oh, napalm cone's my favorite. And it's a callback to his special weapon from Twisted Metal 1 back in the day, which is so cool. Now it's kind of like, all right, now it's downtime. It's coming toward the end of the episode. And John, Quiet, Krista, Mayhem, they're all chilling, looking at the stars. And that's where it ends. Then it's like, it's one more day left until the tournament. And that's where we leave off. And there you go. There's my thoughts on Twisted Metal Season 2, Episode 4. And I'm going to be right back because Episode 5 is also out. So I'm going to go rewatch that and I'll be back to yap about that because now it's about to get good. So thank you all so much for watching. You enjoyed the video, please like, comment, subscribe, share, all that typical YouTube stuff that everybody says. Hit the notification bell to be sure that you don't miss any videos from me. Check out the channel. You know the drill. Original films, fan films, video games, reviews, let's plays, first impressions, music stuff, all that awesome stuff. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all for whatever comes next.